is the miracle of life, an intricate dance of nature that has been performed for millennia. The process of human reproduction is a testament to the complexity and wonder of biology. It begins with the fusion of two very special cells, one from each parent. This is the stage of conception, where an egg and a sperm combine to create a new, unique cell. This single cell then embarks on an incredible journey, dividing and growing, forming organs and tissues, developing into a fetus during the stage of gestation. From a microscopic cell to a living, breathing human being, the transformation is nothing short of miraculous. The complexity and precision involved in each step of this process are astounding, showcasing the true wonder of life itself. In the next few minutes, you will delve into the intricate details of this fascinating process. Conception, the beginning of a new life, is a remarkable event that happens in the female reproductive system. To understand conception, we need to delve into the roles of both the male and female reproductive systems. In the male body, sperm cells are produced in the testes. These microscopic cells are the male contribution to the genetic makeup of a potential new life. Meanwhile, in the female body, the ovaries hold a finite number of eggs, or ova. Each month, typically one of these eggs matures and is released in a process known as ovulation. This mature egg travels down the fallopian tube where it may meet a sperm cell. This meeting is where the magic happens. If a sperm cell successfully penetrates the egg, fertilization occurs. This fusion results in a single cell called a zygote, which carries genetic material from both parents. The zygote begins to divide and multiply, creating a ball of cells as it travels towards the uterus. Now, let's highlight the importance of genetic mixing and chromosome pairing. Each parent contributes 23 chromosomes, making a total of 46 in the zygote. This genetic combination is unique, resulting in a one-of-a-kind individual, unless we're talking about identical twins. But that's a story for another time. As the ball of cells, now known as a blastocyst, reaches the uterus, it embeds itself into the uterine lining in a process known as implantation. This marks the end of conception and the start of an equally fascinating process, gestation. The blastocyst begins to form layers, each with a specific set of roles in the development of the embryo. The outer layer will form the placenta, a life support system for the growing baby, while the inner layers will eventually form the baby's organs and body parts. Conception is a complex, beautifully orchestrated process where life begins at the cellular level and sets the stage for the miracle of human development. With the implantation of the fertilized egg, the next stage of human reproduction begins, gestation. Once implanted in the uterus, the fertilized egg, now called an embryo, starts its journey of growth and development. This incredible journey is divided into two main stages: the embryonic stage and the fetal stage. The embryonic stage begins immediately after implantation and lasts until the end of the 8th week. During this time, the embryo undergoes rapid growth and differentiation. By the end of the 3rd week, the heart begins to form and soon after, it starts to beat and pump blood. By the 4th week, the basic structures of the brain, spinal cord, and other organs start to form. As we move into the 5th week, the embryo begins to take on a more recognizably human shape. Limb buds appear, which will eventually form the arms and legs. The eyes and ears also start to develop around this time. By the end of the 8th week, the embryonic stage concludes. The embryo now has a primitive face with eyes, nose, and lips. Most of the major organ systems have been formed and the embryo is now referred to as a fetus. The fetal stage, starting from the 9th week until birth, is characterized by the maturation of the organs and systems that formed during the embryonic stage. The fetus grows rapidly, and by the 12th week, the external features such as fingers, toes, and eyelids are well formed. The placenta, an organ that develops in the uterus during pregnancy, plays a critical role in this stage. It provides oxygen and nutrients to the growing fetus while also removing waste products. The amniotic sac, a fluid-filled bag that surrounds the fetus, serves as a cushion to protect the fetus from bumps and pressure. By the end of the 2nd trimester, the fetus has developed fully formed organs, skin, and hair. It can also start to hear and swallow. By the end of the 3rd trimester, the fetus is usually positioned head down in preparation for birth. The moment of birth, a culmination of months of growth and development, is a powerful and transformative event. As we delve into the process of labor and delivery, it's important to understand that it's divided into three distinct stages. The first stage, known as the latent phase, is characterized by the onset of contractions. These contractions, rhythmic tightening and relaxing of the uterine muscles, initiate the process of childbirth. They cause the cervix to thin out and dilate, creating a passage for the baby to move from the uterus into the birth canal. Transitioning into the active phase, the contractions become more frequent, lasting longer and becoming more intense. The cervix dilates more rapidly, and this is the time when most mothers feel the urge to push. The baby is moving further down the birth canal, positioning itself for birth. The final stage of labor, the transitional phase, is the most intense. The mother's cervix is fully dilated, and with each contraction, she pushes, helping the baby navigate through the birth canal. After a series of pushes, the baby is born into the world, marking a moment of overwhelming joy and relief. Following the birth of the baby, the mother enters the third stage of labor, which involves the delivery of the placenta, the life-supporting organ that has nourished the baby throughout the pregnancy. The contractions continue, albeit at a lesser intensity, aiding in the expulsion of the placenta. Immediately after birth, the newborn receives care, which includes clearing the airways, ensuring the baby is breathing independently, and providing warmth. The baby's umbilical cord is clamped and cut, severing the physical connection with the mother, but initiating a bond that lasts a lifetime. In this moment, the baby takes its first breath and begins to cry, a sound that signifies life and fills the room with a sense of profound accomplishment and love. The newborn is then placed on the mother's chest, a practice known as skin-to-skin contact, which fosters bonding and helps to stabilize the baby's heartbeat and breathing. With the birth of the baby, the process of human reproduction comes to an end, but the miracle of life continues as the baby grows and develops. Human reproduction is a complex, miraculous process that results in the creation of a new life. It all begins with conception, where a single sperm cell and an egg unite to form a zygote. This is the first step to the creation of a new unique individual. Then we move on to gestation, a period of intense growth and development. It's during this stage that the zygote transforms into an embryo, and later, a fetus. The fetus grows, developing organs, tissues, and systems, preparing itself for life outside the womb. Finally, there's birth. The